motor running. Head out on the highway.
Okay, I'm back again. I'm going to tell you the story, the motorcycle story of Steve and I going from Arkansas to California. We had come back to Arkansas because my grandfather, LJ, was very ill. He was passing away from colon cancer, and we came back to see him one last time, which was really hard. But after we stayed for a while, we had to go back. I was in school to become a hairdresser, and he had work to go back to. So after a while, he finally convinced me that it would be fun to go by motorcycle. Which he had to always convince me of a lot of things, because I was never real big. Now, as much as I hated riding the Greyhound bus, I was really willing to take a Greyhound back instead of riding on the back of a motorcycle. But he told me, hey man, I'll let you drive, and man, it'll be cool, just me and you going down the road, it's gonna be great. I'm like, okay, fine, let's go. So he fills up his little motorcycle, and we go down the road. And I guess the first problem I started having with it is the helmet, because it had this strap that went right across my neck here, and the wind kept pulling my helmet, so I'm getting choked this trip. I'm thinking there's got to be a better way. Well, he had some ski masks, so I put a ski mask on, and then I put the helmet on, which made it easier. We ended up running out of gas because he had no gas gauge, and so he had to take the gas tank off, lean it to one side so he could get the remainder of the gas out to get us to a gas station, which was very uncomfortable to try and ride down the freeway with the gas tank kind of hanging there and him having to ride kind of scrunched back. And anyway, excuse me, we finally get to the gas station. He fills it back up, and moving down the road we go again. Can't tell you probably how many bugs I ate on the trip. But we ended up going for quite a while, and everything was going good. I rode the bike a couple of times, it was going pretty good. We had that one instant. It was okay. Well, then it got real late, and I got real tired, and he's a drive straight through kind of guy, as to where me, I'm not. I'm a let's get a motel room and then wake up and do it again early in the morning. Well, he's bound and determined that we are not pulling over. And I am just so tired that I don't remember exactly where it was. I think we got to Gallup, New Mexico, and I just couldn't stay awake. I kept trying and trying, but I'd start kind of dozing off, and he'd have to put his hand back, and kind of wake me up, and then I'd be awake for a little while, and off I'd go again. I ended up falling asleep on his back, and he says I almost fell off the bike a couple of times, which prompted him that we needed to pull over and get a motel room. Well, we pull over, get some cheap motel room. I get into the bed. He gets up, goes and takes him a shower, gets into the hotel room. He goes and takes him a shower. And he comes back, and I'm already in the bed. And I just picked the side closest to the door, whatever, I don't even think I bothered covering up, I was just that tired. He got into the bed, and I was kind of somewhat still awake at the time, and I heard him go, "Oh, man!" And I kind of roll over and go, What's the matter, Steve?" He goes, "I'm laying in a wet spot." I guess somebody had spilled something in the bed. At least I'm hoping that's what happened. And his side of the bed was all wet. The look on his face And I mean, he was so aggravated to begin with for having to pull over, and then he got the wet part of the bed, and I offered to change with him. He's like, "No, I'll just go sleep." And so we fell asleep, we woke up, and then we finished the rest of our journey. But you know, that's another memory that I will honestly treasure. It was during the time it had its up points and it had its down points, but all in all, it was a pretty good trip. And I'm so thankful to, you know, for one, have a brother who wants to do things with me, even if it's something he knows that I am not going to like. He still is quite adamant on getting me to do these things that always seems to end not the way he would like. I'm always expecting it, but he's not. After all these trips we've taken and all this stuff we've done together, you would expect he would have learned. But either way, I'll still go with him on these little adventures. I'll still do... He'll have to convince me. He'll have to talk me into it, but I'll go. And I will always have memories. I will always have things that I'll treasure about these awful trips. Because I love him. You know? I absolutely love him. And we do have a great time when something's not going wrong. But anyway, I just wanted to share that story with you too. Anyway, I'll talk with y'all later. Bye.